Welcome, famine friends. We're here again. This is the Mark Inspires program, day 1,578 in a row doing it here with you. And today I'm actually in Russia. There was an attempt on President Vladimir Putin's life, and we're just kind of, with the wreckage. And I just wanted to kind of let you guys know how serious this was. Almost got the Putin. Putin hit on him, and he got away, It actually wound up landing about 12 miles short of old Vladimir, and, he went like this, which I get it. He was thinking, is that what you try? You try to send a drone at me, Vladimir Putin? So it gets cold as can be here in Russia, so I'm doing my best. It's also, I'm not sure if all of the explosives have been, dismantled. There's a MacGyver situation going on. I may have to go over there with a toothpick and see if we can get into it. I am looking for relics. This is a Vladimir Putin assassination drone. It's not like a normal drone. This is an assassination drone. And I just wanted you guys to know this was difficult to get here. Do you know how many lines of security I had to go through to get here with the assassination drone? Sometimes when you're in Russia and you speak fluent Russian, you can go up and say, Vladimir is my friend. They said, well, speak to us in Russian. No, I do Russian accent. Yes, I'm here Vladimir Putin style. And when they let me through, I gave them some freaking Sky vodka. And that's why I'm the one reporter on the scene with the assassination drone. So I hope you guys will do me a favor and share. Let other people know I'm here assassination drone style. And all we need to do is get our one-on-one interview with Vladimir Putin. I'm expecting him here shortly, so he can see the villain eye to eye, drone to eye, Vladimir's going to come down and say, you tried to get me. You tried to get me. He pours vodka on it. He lights a freaking Molotov. Drop it on top of the assassination drone. I think yes. Look, there's a chair in the middle of the assassination drone. That's pretty crazy. Joanne, when you're here wheezing, Joanne's here in Russia. Wheezing it out while I'm here trying to do a news report. Channel 7 News. Guys, Matt Zabrowski's about to hit us with a woohoo. Let's see if we can get it. There's something to die for. Vladimir Putin almost I'm dancing in freaking Russia! Woo! My assassination drone! Look, I'm dancing on the assassination drone! Zabrosk! I need a woohoo! Get us into the show! Zabrosk! Right, he came to Russia too. Guys, that is the show. In Russia, assassination drone. And Matt Zabrowski is giving us a woohoo to start off the show properly. Channel 7 News style. So, it was not easy. I had to take 9 flights and a donkey to get right here by the assassination drone. And it was actually there was a little bit of flames. And, it was so cold, I went over it. I was like an assassination drone style in it. I'm just like, let me just warm up, by the wreckage. So I'm part Russian now. They decided to make me an honorary citizen of Russia because of my reporting here on the assassination drone. And look, they're murdering reporters in Ukraine right now, the Russians. But when I came from the United States of America, Channel 7 News, they're like, hey, Mark Pires, why don't you come on down and do a story on the assassination drone? I'll do it. I'll do it. But I just want you guys to understand, how hard it was to get past Macau. You know, I pulled up in that old Range Rover that they have that's got like 2 wheels and it just scrapes along. They put skis at the back of it though, so it moves. And you pull up to the ranch and Mikhail comes walking up, you know, with a pitchfork. Half a shirt on. They're freaking weird here in Russia, you know? And he's like, what are you doing? What are you doing here? I said, what am I doing here? I'm Mark Pires, Channel 7 News. I hear you have an assassination drone on your premises. He goes, yes, I have inside. You come, you want vodka? Of course I freaking want vodka. It's negative 14 degrees here in Russia. You don't want to give me vodka? You have to ask me if I want vodka? I want a double-decker of vodka. Yeah, you know, give me a double-decker of vodka, or I'm just, you know, I guess I'm going to your neighbor and seeing if they're a little more generous with their vodka. Channel 7 News, you know, when you're in the middle of it and you're on the ranch, you've got all access to the murder drone. It's just kind of like a good thing because I get hazard pay here. You need it when you're going to Russia. And there's assassination drones, like right within your premises. So anyway, I think Vlad should be here any minute, you know? I really want to ask him, you know, is he nervous about the next one getting him? This is clearly something they're attempting now. Like, oh, next time he's on a little brisk walk, we're going to send another drone at him. And we'll see, maybe that one doesn't land here, you know, in the middle of the, you know, winter scene. It's Russia. There's always snow on the ground. You know, oh, look, it's mid-August. Hello? Assassination drone. You know, they don't, if there was ever a time where it was just like grass, a beautiful, you know, like the fields are alive. No, they're not. Everything's dead in Russia. And Putin was almost dead too, guys. Anyway, I think I'm gonna take a trip from Russia back to the United States. I wanna get the freaking hell out of here as quick as possible. You know, I'm not standing in line for bread. We'll be doing that in America soon enough. I'm not doing it now, here in Russia. You know, I'm gonna take a few photos of the murder assassination drone. I'll send it into Channel 7 News, and I'm jumping on the next flight, 9 flights and a freaking donkey to get home to do the report tomorrow. Where in the world will Mark Pires' Channel 7 News be tomorrow? They start asking. That's like one of the polls that's on the network channel. If you go to the Twitter and you look up right now, that is it's trending. It's trending on the Channel 7 News Twitter page. Where in the world will Mark Pires be tomorrow? Tonight he's by the freaking, you know, assassination drone. I guess we'll just have to see. What's that, Joanne? No, Joanne, call them. I'm done. I'm just going to take a few photos. I don't need to delay this any longer. Do you think I really want to meet Mikhail again on the way out? Oh, hey, Mikhail, look, before I leave, you think I could squeeze a little freaking vodka out of you? He's not giving it up. You know, he's just not a generous Russian. I know a lot of generous Russians. Mikhail is not one of them. No. He has his grain alcohol as well. That one he just washes his teeth with. I don't even get that one. Brushing his teeth with grain alcohol. He does it for the drunk, you know what I mean? It's not for any other reason than for the drunk. Mikhail. He's an interesting one. I'll tell you more stories about another day, another time. He smells like Funyuns. That's no good. Anyway, guys, I'm getting off a topic because I want to get the heck out of here. Taking a few photos, heading back to the States, and again, go and hit that poll, Twitter. Yeah. Where in the world, Channel 7 News, Mark Pires, where's he going to be tomorrow? All right, assassination drone, have a good day. I guess when Vlad comes here, tell him that I was here. I did a news report, and I'll send him the link. You know, when you're dealing with an assassination drone, you have to do it right. Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness, fam and friends. Looks like we've done it again here, you know. Joanne, what do you think? Was that a pretty good trip to Russia? Now, I know, Joanne, we needed to get the extra cargo vessel in order to get you back. It's not like we could just get a normal plane. You can't get Joanne into a normal plane. You got to get one of those massive cargo planes that they have, and they put... Actually, the one that you're looking for is the one that they have. I can't even think of what it's called right now. I was really probably going to say like helicopters, but realistically, if you had tanks on one of the cargo ships, and then that mouth that comes out the back and the tanks come off of the cargo ship, you know, that's something that Joanne needs whenever we travel. It's a commercial, you know, airstrip that you need to also rent out. God almighty, Joanne. You know, also when they walk around the plane on the way, they're like, would you like a drink and something to eat? They can't do it with Joanne. Be nothing left for everybody else. Yeah. What's that? No, Joanne, I know you ate before we went too. She ate before we even got on the plane. And then, you know, she ate everything in the commissary. And by the way, guys, they don't have a very good exhaust system on the plane. Not good enough for Joanne if she does a poop-a-doop. So in general, I don't like traveling with Joanne. But if I'm going to Russia, she's coming with me. Yeah. I'm sorry? Yeah, and the wheeze too. You guys, really? Yeah, no, Joanne, they wanted to know, like, did the wheeze come along as well, or did you happen to leave that behind? She's nuts. She never leaves the wheeze anywhere. It's attached to Joanne. It's a lifetime affliction. We've been consulting with doctors. Doesn't seem anyone can do anything about it. You know, what's that? No, Joanne, get some more WD-40 if you want to try another option. We did it once. I thought I could tell there was a difference for a day or two. S-Coop was saying, hey, Mark, I think the wheeze is a little more fluid. That was what I was hearing in the chat. I'm not going to say they were wrong, Joanne, because I kind of want to see you shoot some more WD-40 down your throat. You know? Let's see how it's going. Little lubrication may help with the wheeze, guys, right? I mean, I'm just speaking here almost like because I'm curious to see. I want to see if the second time around we get any result. You may get hospitalized. That would be a bonus for us here. A day without the wheeze. God almighty. Every time I try to not talk, the wheeze takes over. Thanks, Joanne. Gosh, guys, you know, this is one of those days. Went to Russia. Came back here. I'm in the studio again. There's a few things you need to know about the world we're living in today. No, you don't need to know it. It's just a bunch of crap, you know? Everybody's just off their rocker, talking about things that don't matter. Nobody wants to talk about the things that do matter. Like that you're awesome. Joanne's not. No. I'm sorry? No. I don't feel bad at all. It's Joanne. She's a Wheezy McGee. Joanne, they're trying to make me feel bad for giving you a hard time. I'm sorry. You know, maybe you should do something about everything that is Joanne. The outfit also. That could use a little bit of an adjustment. The moo-moo. Oh, goodness. Guys, so when you're here and you're doing it a little earlier because you have bowling night, you just want to get into it. You know? You just want to get into it. What's that, Joanne? No, Joanne, you can't get into it anymore. The world would probably experience the largest earthquake recorded. I'd be getting Ron. You know, when you start getting EMA and they're on the line with you, that's the best. My brother Ron, and he's just doing it. He's like, look, we have a 12.4. No one's ever seen a 12.4. Until Joanne. you know? Oh, goodness, guys. So, this is the silliness that is the show. I have no idea what the heck I'm doing here. Just having some fun. I would say this, that tomorrow we do it all over again. And remember, it is cover song night. So I hope you will bring some friends along. Make sure you send some cover song requests. I don't know, anything along. We'll make some magic out of it. What did you guys think of Channel 7 News in Russia? Putin, I don't even know what the hell I'm doing anymore. Out of my mind, you know? It is bowling night. I'm heading over to throw some strikes. Hopefully I'll get a couple of decent games to report to you for tomorrow. And thank you so much for kicking it with me while my crazy, wild mind goes into another live improv moment of the drone, assassination drone. It's so crazy. Oh, man. Crazy thing is, I don't even know if anything I do here is funny. I have no idea. I'm just having fun myself. I guess to me that's all that matters, is if I'm living the childlike, if the childlike energy is being broadcast through you, it doesn't matter really. Everything's subjective anyway. But if you are allowing that energy to be you, then I applaud you. That's what life is about. I think anything you connect to that you're like, whoa, that's interesting, it's usually because that person is exploring their childlike, you know, what I mean is that boundless energy without fear, where failure doesn't exist. It doesn't even matter because you're more interested in reaching full euphoric utopia, whatever it is, for that thing. And at the end of the day, I love it. I laugh sometimes. I always try to put myself on mute here so I don't stop you guys from laughing where the laughs are supposed to be for you. But there are moments that I break out with just cackles for some of the things that have been improvised here come to surface. Like, I've always loved facial expressions. I always loved how someone could say something and then make a facial expression that would just knock you to the floor comedically. Jim Carrey was massively amazing at that. And so every time I swear, sometimes I wish I had a camera guy who could do the stuff I do with these afterwards, which is to zoom in when I'm doing the facial expressions and just to make it more cinematic, because you're watching some flat screen guy walking on a green screen just doing live improv. And again, if you're not listening to the words and the tonality, all of the little details, the nuances of the improv, then you're not going to appreciate it, I don't imagine. I don't know. But for me, that's what it is. It's the nuance. It's all the little details. It's the look off to the right after I say something, or just kind of jumping in the air in the middle of some comment. Like, I love doing stuff like that. To me, that's the funniest stuff. I could not even say a word, just be moving around the screen, jumping around, dancing, doing shakes and stuff. I just think that stuff's hilarious. I don't know why. I have no idea. But I just love exploring. Within this moment, there is so much opportunity to create. And to me, I believe that is what they want to keep from us, is that reality, that truth. The truth of all is that we can do so much in this very moment. Thank you so much for the likes. I really appreciate that. Carter, you rock. You're amazing. There's so much we can do, so much can be explored and created in this very moment. And I believe that's the thing the elite, the people who want to destroy us, fear most. They understand that if they keep us living in fear and hating each other, then we can never explore this moment. They take our lives from us by taking our moment from us. And so all I would say to you is, please remember that you are amazing. Every single person on this planet is amazing in their own way. Let's start showing each other some love. lift each other up and say, you know what? It's not complicated. It's very simple. We are human beings. We are men and women, and we're here trying to make a difference and trying to get to another generation. What I see from this generation is they want to try to stop future generations from becoming. There's only one truth, that you cannot live forever. You have to continue to procreate. And so your seed, your bloodline continues on. And we're living in a generation where they want to stop bloodlines. Think about that. They want to stop the future. So buck the system. Do what your heart is telling you is right, which is love your neighbor. Lift each other up. Don't look at all the little differences, because that's what makes us so special, is that we're different. We should be trusting the fact that we're not supposed to always get along, but we are always supposed to have a mutual respect and appreciation for each other's creative minds, for each other's expression. That's what the original framers of the Constitution were thinking. We can't ever let someone stop the expression of self. Freedom at its core, liberty, is about full expression. And if you can't fully express yourself and totally be you, you are not in a free country. You're not in a free world. I thought one of the most telling things that I saw after Tucker Carlson was fired from Fox was they said, you know, we loved the show. We love all the people. You know, we had a great 3 million people a day, but we just couldn't control him anymore. When I heard they said that, they said we just couldn't control him anymore. They want to control everything. They don't want anybody's true opinion. They want a message out there. And that's why they've graduated. Some may say they've fallen from a higher level down to, but they've graduated to the National Enquirer mainstream media. That's what the entirety of it is. It's the National Enquirer. It's the most ridiculous stuff in the world. And when you hear it and you see it, you have to be a moron to believe it. And if you believe it, I'm sorry. And I'm not trying to offend you if you do believe it. I'm trying to open your eyes to the reality that you're being lied to over and over every single day of your life. Now, there are voices that are trying to reach you. There are people who are trying to let you know what's really going on. But those are the people that you'll see 2 views or 10, because they won't allow the world to find someone who's trying to keep it real. They want someone who's going to keep you in fear and get you out of this moment, away from where I believe God is. God, Jesus, Muhammad, whatever you want to call your deity, they're all in this moment here. They're not in the past. Some of them in the past, but the reality is the creation of life, the ending, everything. It's all right here in this very moment where God created it all. It's right here in this moment. Time is linear, and it doesn't have a beginning or an end, so it's circular. Wow, wait a second. I mean, it does, I guess. If the Earth explodes one day and we're not here any longer, then time does come to an end for us. But maybe it doesn't. Maybe it's just a big loop. All I know is we don't know. We don't know anything. But I do know we're being lied to. I do know we're being gaslit on a daily basis. I do know that they're forcing agenda on us and trying to change our children at a young age into something androgynous. And I don't understand why more people aren't fighting back and saying, no, this is not happening in my country. And I won't allow the next generation to be some freaking You know, what's that saying that strong people create weak people create. This is the cycle. This generation that's being born into right now is the destruction of humanity. Because they all, like 30% of the people that are out there right now think that children are a good thing. It's insane. Nobody has a familial background anymore. It's all like, nope, let's just become something different, like an animal, that I'm a human, but I'm also an animal. And then my bloodline dies off. Yeah, go do that. Go kill yourself. Don't have babies. Go and abort them at the Planned Parenthood. Let's just stop bloodlines. I'll tell you what, I got 3 kids, but knowing what they're trying to do to us, I wish I had 30 kids. I don't want my bloodline to freaking end. I want my kids to continue on, and then they have kids, and then they have kids. And I hope this world is still here. You shouldn't be willing this world to turn into some crazy freak show. People should be themselves, but it shouldn't be that now everybody else in existence has to change the way they live because there's a small group of people that are different. Go be different. Just stop trying to be the focus of the entirety. Life is very simple. We want to go to work. We want to make a living. We want to have our families. We want to continue to procreate so this existence doesn't come to an end. Depopulation's going to happen naturally because of all the societal changes that are going on. No one's having children anymore. People that are men that can now procreate and have women or babies are changing sex and gender and deciding that they want to become lions and tigers and bears, maybe a kangaroo. And it's just ending their bloodline. I wonder if anybody would actually reach out to some of these people and just say, you know, you're just ending your bloodline, right? You want to be like, oh, you know, let's stop. Everybody needs to stop the way they're living, and they need to focus on what I want. I want life to change, and I am offended that you didn't get my name or my pronoun right. I'm sorry, guys. You know, the English language is a beautiful language. We were taught the language, and it needs to make sense. I'm not going to change the way I say things just because you've changed. You know, your feelings don't get their own rules. That's not how it works. You can have your feelings, you can do whatever you want, you can be whatever you want, but if someone says something to you that you're offended by, that's on you. You need to freaking swallow it and walk away. You don't ask that person to change what they said because you expect the world to change and bend to your insanity. You're not a cat, okay? Put the kitty litter away unless you get a freaking cat, then get the kitty litter back out, you know? But you're going to school and you tell your teachers you're a cat, someone's got to slap you in the freaking face because you're a moron. And your parents should be slapped in the face too for not telling you. This is 75% the parents, 25% the kids. Kids are going to be confused until they're like 20 plus years old, dude. I know, what the hell is it? Yeah, I got to get going, guys, seriously. But kids are going to be confused until they're not. We don't need to confuse them further. Let them go and run through their entire emotional, exchange, understanding themselves. Am I a boy? Am I a girl? Whatever. But nobody should be forcing themselves into any camp if they're out there and they're concerned about that specifically. Go out there and figure out who you are, because you won't know who you are until about 18 or 20 years old. And you may think you're something at 13 or 14 and you make some change. You can never, ever go backwards, guys. I've seen a lot of stories. People are just really, really... That's why a lot of people wind up... I don't know if it's true, but I've heard a lot of people that it's a very sad thing. But when you're an outcast, there's a lot of anxiety that goes along with it. And there's a high rate of suicide in that group. And it's sad. It's very sad. But I don't believe it's because people like me aren't calling people by their correct pronouns. It's mental. They're dealing with a confusion within themselves. They don't know how to really get to the bottom of, and it becomes too overwhelming. But it's not on the people that are around, because you can't go through your life expecting everybody to pat you on the back and give you some sort of reassurance that your decisions are the right decisions. Because mostly in life, you're not making the right decision. You're figuring things out. You're learning from your mistakes. But you can't expect the world to tell you you're doing the right thing when they know you're a freaking nutcase. You know, I saw someone earlier who's like very, very exuberantly trying to explain if you call someone by their incorrect pronoun, this is how you can do the right thing. And then there's like this rule of four things you should do in order to never do it again. And it's like, you should, first of all, apologize to them for offending them without intending to, but you offended them, and it's on you for someone having no freaking skin at all and just bone. Everything hits the freaking bone with these people. And then the second one was like, oh, then ask them what the pronoun they'd like to be called is, and then, remember that so you never make that mistake again. I'm like, motherfucker, you gotta be kidding me. How about you just take the sting and walk away? But you trying to tell other people who use the English language properly that they should change that in order to call you they or something, which means you're an a-hole. And like I said, nobody gets to create new rules because they have feelings. Sticks and stones was a thing we all were able to deal with as kids. Now all of a sudden no one has a freaking backbone. Nobody has any skin on their body. It's just like, I'm offended by everything and you need to change what you said. No, you need to walk out of the room, dummy. Go do you. You don't like what someone says? You want them to change what they said? You need to change your attitude and realize that no one's going to stop being themselves because you are different. You're different. That's great. That doesn't mean the world has to freaking stop spinning and start changing the way they say things. No, that's on you. You want to be different. You go be different in your little sphere. You can go out of that sphere. No one's going to give you a hard time. No one gives a shit. That's the thing I don't understand here. Nobody cares. We just don't want to hear about it every day, all day, and that men can become a woman and it's not, a deal. Like it's okay. No, it's not. There's no freaking world where it's okay for a man to transition to a woman and then compete against women. It's just insanity, guys. If that's the case, get rid of men's and women's tennis, get rid of men's and women's soccer, get rid of men's and women's everything. It's just one thing. Tennis, it's soccer, it's baseball, it's whatever across the board. If it's true, there's no benefit at all. There's no muscular advantage to a man. And I could just decide to start taking testosterone, whatever the hell they freaking do in order to emasculate themselves. And then that makes me the same as a girl. It's stupidity. Men are just built with different frames. Have you seen the frame of the swimmer, Leah Thomas? That dude is bigger than me. And it's like, oh, okay, we have to call her, they call it a girl? What do we call it? Her? They? Is it a they? She's 9 people now. I'm sorry. I'm not meaning to offend anybody. I'm really not. I just don't understand the world we're living in. I don't even know how we got onto this topic. You know what it is? It's just every time I scroll, I see somebody who's trying to force everybody to tell them something, call them something. I'm like, that's not how this works. You can call yourself whatever you want. Doesn't mean that I have to. That's it. All right? I want you to be yourself. I want you to go and do you. I just don't want you to tell everybody else that they have to now focus on you and everything you do has to be the focus. No. We want to go to work. We want to put food on the table for our families. We want to pop the TV on without watching somebody who's trying to convince my child that they should stop being whatever they are and be the other thing. We don't need people confusing children more. This is the problem. There are predators out there that are such scumbag pieces of crap, and they're trying to affect children's minds and manipulate them. And then there's this group of people that are like, oh, you guys are racist. Oh, how could you not want sex to be talked about with 4 or 5, 6, 7-year-olds? What kinds of pieces of shit, again, sorry about the word, are actually going out there trying to talk about sex with kindergartners, first and second graders? And you guys are okay with that? It's disgusting. It's disgusting. You don't talk about children. You talk to them about the important details in school. Math. I don't even want to get into it anymore. It's just frustrating. I'm going to throw some strikes. I got to throw some strikes. Because this is just insanity I'm living in. 2020 freaking 3 insanity. You know? Sid, my brother. Dolores. Virginia. S-Coop. Anybody else that may be out here. I appreciate you. I'm sorry for the insane rant tonight after the funny, Russian drone thing that we did. Mike, how are you, my brother? Thank you so much for being here on TikTok. Hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. I will be back at 10:30 tomorrow for the 1,579th day. Till tomorrow. It's Mark Pires. And this is Mark Inspires. Hope to see you tomorrow. You got to go away.